Welcome. In this video, I'd like to talk about the checklist. This is one of the important pieces that you'll receive if you want to do an application. Just making sure that we're on the same page, because with underwriting guidelines, it really comes down to having everything support what we're saying in an application. That's really the simplicity of it. So without any further ado, I will go through each piece here as I have them on my list, and just to give you a quick descriptive. So number one is confirmation of annual condominium fees. Buying a condo, we need to understand the condo fees. If you're not going to be applicable. Pretty simple. Number two, current investment or bank statements for all assets held elsewhere. This is very simply what you have and can you prove it. Do I see a name with an account number? That's all I'm really looking for. Okay, and then that plays into number three, current investment statements for London Life assets, anything that you have with us here at the company. Why? Because when it comes to pricing, we're willing to discount a little bit deeper if you've established a relationship. Okay, so big thing is if you are purchasing, that we see a 3-month history. Many reasons behind that. I probably elaborate over the phone, so keep that top of mind. Mortgage information for all properties owned, including verification of equity in the property. For example, mortgage balance from existing lender or property title search confirming no encumbrances. Okay, so case in point, I do have an example of a title search right here for you. So what you'll see is what we're looking for is right here. The amount in particulars, we've got the name of the institution, we've got the date, and we've got when this was registered. So what we'll do is, if you're able to provide us at the very minimum a property tax statement. So this is one for Winnipeg, and you'll see up here, we're looking for the legal description. If I have the name, the legal description, we can send this to Interfax, the page I just showed you, and we can get the sub-search of the title, which allows us to determine what we're gonna need in terms of a refinance, okay? So that's one important piece with this checklist, is knowing that that's what it helps with. Original and valid identity documents. Basically, we just want to make sure that there's no expiry on what they have presented. Passport, driver's license are the two most frequent that I see. Those are always going to be great just for one piece of those. Personalized and printed void check. Big thing here is if we're going to be taking payments for a mortgage, we want to know that they absolutely own the account. A lot of reasons why that could be a fraudulent purchase. So we want to be very diligent in making sure that we've gotten that covered. Okay. Which they can get online, by the way, just on their online banking. Separation agreement. If you have a situation where a client might be looking to refinance because they're going through separation, we really need to see that agreement. It's going to be important for us to determine what obligations maybe they have post divorce or post breakdown. So those are things that we're going to want in a separation agreement. For the ones that I've seen, there have been typically about 20 pages plus. So this shouldn't be just a one-page handout, here you go. There should be a lot to it. And again, this can be scanned via PDF. Property tax statement, I've just covered that. It was just a tie-in with the other one. This may be the one piece that is the most important, the property taxes, that we can do a little bit of legwork for you. Where we don't need them to complete an application, just get us the property taxes and we can do a title search. It's about $10 on the back end for us, not really a big deal. Current investment or bank statements, 3-month history for a purchase showing the name of the borrower, account number, and final institution. Firm purchase and sale agreement for existing home, including all waivers and a mortgage statement validating the equity. So this one here, if they're going to be purchasing, probably goes without saying, we need to know what the particulars are. What's the property address? Who are the parties involved? When is this going to come to the conclusion? And then more importantly for our world is understanding when the condition of finance is going to be, because that's where we are essentially building our deadline to have a decision for the client. Okay. The London Life gift letter stating that the gift is non-repayable with confirmation of gifted funds in client's possession. So for the gift letter as such, we are looking for usually a next of kin to provide some formality around what they are providing and that it is not repayable. The key word with that is we're taking first position on the title, and we don't want to have anybody else whose interest needs to be served in conjunction with ours. case in point, why the gift needs to be non-repayable. So that gift letter, very simple. Just want to have the applicant's name, the property address, the sum that they are going to be gifting. That money obviously needs to make its way to the account. And then we're going to have the source of the gift, the name of the institution that it came from, then the names of the people that would be signing, saying that they're pledging that gift. Okay. Copy of a current signed lease agreement dated within the previous 12-month period. This is one that has occasionally come back to us. If clients have a rental property, for example, and they're going to be declaring that rent, we want to see it on T1 General and Notice of Assessment where they've declared this to the government. And two, we want to know that they have a rental agreement in place with tenants who are obligated to make payments. Should go without saying. Now for the income, this is where I really want to place the most emphasis, because this is the part where we're typically going to have most of our trials, I guess. And that would be getting the 2 current pay stubs. Very important for us to know that the clients are still working. And with that, they can provide us 2 T4s if they are salaried, or if they're going to have various sources of income, it's always precautionary to have the 2 most recent notice of assessments with their T1 generals. That just allows us to get a fuller picture, and I find with underwriting, the deals go a lot smoother if you can get those 2 pieces. Okay. Now, if you're dealing with somebody who's self-employed and they are declaring income over, just the recent year, that's not going to work. We're going to want to take a 3-year average, and how we'll do that is we'll take their T1 generals and their notice of assessments, and we're going to be very cognizant of line 150. So that number is going to get grossed up here. That's our policy. And they may need to provide business financials depending on what they're taking out. If they are a corporation and they are the president, we may want to do a little bit of investigative work there, because at the end of the day, we are looking to make sure that the clients have an affordable situation. That's really it. We have that onus. All right. So that's the checklist in a nutshell. Hopefully this is just a way to expand on some of those topics if you're watching the video. And if you have any questions, you can definitely give me a call.